think I'm ready.
Well, Luke, for you, first of all, just how's things been going? Looks like you got your shot over here at left tackle.
It's going good. We've had a great fall camp to start. I got great teammates all around me on that O-line too, very hard workers all around me, so they help me be my best every day.
What are your impressions of Luke? What's he brought to the table being, I guess, the new guy, even though he's redshirt senior?
So I feel like super comfortable playing next to Luke. He's a really calm presence, so that's really nice on the offensive line. And me and Luke have been really good friends for a long time, so it's really fun for us to play next to each other.
For you, I mean, this is your third year, I guess, going into third year starting. What are the areas that you've really tried to improve on the most, and what do you, whether it's mental, physical, any of that kind of stuff?
So physically, I think every year it's kind of been my goal to get bigger and stronger. And so that was a huge goal for me this offseason, and I worked really hard at that. Mentally, just keep attacking every day. And I guess now that I'm getting older, taking more of a leadership role.
The experience on the offensive line, you guys had 4 starters coming back. Myron's on went left. And it's not just returning starters. You got some of you 2 or 3 years, So talk about the experience on the line. Maybe the learning curve is not as much. I mean, a lot of stuff you've returning from the past, I'm assuming.
I think the biggest thing like we see with that is there's really not much we haven't seen. So when we go out there, Coach Odom does an awesome job of giving us all sorts of looks and everything. But since we've seen a lot, we don't panic. We communicate really well, and that's been awesome with Luke. We're able to communicate super good, and I think that is mainly because it's such a veteran group. We feel comfortable with that.
Last spring, if I'm not mistaken, didn't Luke play some guard and you play some tackle? Are you guys more comfortable where you're at now, guard and tackle?
Yeah, we switch sometimes during practice just to get ready for different scenarios if any kind of game situation where we need to switch at that spot, but we do a pretty good job of switching and communicating on that left side.
Are you more comfortable at tackle, though, or is it really matter?
I'm comfortable at both. I feel like I can play both, but I've gotten more comfortable at tackle with the time I've been out there this year.
Along those same lines, Luke, I think at Notre Dame you're primarily a center, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And then a lot of guard here at Arkansas, now tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Just what are the differences like being at tackle compared to those interior spots?
It's more of like you're on an island, one-on-one, more one-on-one scenarios than in the inside. It's more moving people on the outside. You got to be better with your hands and your feet. But I think it's been a great experience for me to go from center to guard to guard to center, playing all 5 of those spots. It's been good.
And then you mentioned that. I mean, I think they've mentioned several times you've had to be matched up with Drew Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
What are those matchups like? What's it like trying to block him?
Drew is a great player. He's fast, tall, long, great hands, speed to power. He's a great player, so it's good to go against him every day to get me ready for the season.
Hey guys, y'all haven't had to go much past 6 or 7 guys the last couple of years. So we feel like Tykeus, the way the coaches talk, might be the 6th guy. Can y'all talk about who's the next wave coming behind you?
Yeah, so we got a lot of good young guys coming up. Coach Kennedy and Coach Pittman have done an awesome job of recruiting some studs. So there's a lot of guys that are ready to step up. Like a lot of people mentioned Tykees, Chop, Marcus Henderson. He's doing a great job. And then we got young guys like Patrick Kudis who are also like they'll be ready to take on like really significant roles.
We have great depth in the room. A lot of hard workers in that room. Guys like Tykees and Devin Manuel, Jalen St. John, Marcus Henderson, Patrick Kudis, young guys, everyone just working hard.
Yeah, and Brady, I had a question for you about what D tackles, what have you seen from Isaiah Nichols from an improvement standpoint, and then D tackles to keep an eye on this year?
So Isaiah's been balling out. He's playing really good. He's always had really good hands, but I mean he's being super physical in there. It's awesome for like me and Ricky to go up against him every day just because he makes us better, and he's really taking on like a leadership role on the defensive line. So that's been cool to see. Other D tackles, I think you see Eric Gregory. He's been playing awesome. Like I think he's playing some of his best ball. Zach Williams, he's always been good. He has a couple really good moves, and I think a new guy to watch is Terry Hampton. He's the transfer. He's been doing awesome. He's a really strong guy, and he'll be ready to play.
Is it tough coming in every day and dealing with such a somber, low-energy position coach?
No, I mean, Coach Kennedy, like he can get fired us and he can fire us up, and he knows how to do it. Now it's awesome that like he lets us have fun, which is cool. So it is relaxed, but when we need to, he knows how to fire us up.
important is you guys as a unit? I mean, you look out there and it's senior, junior, senior on the offensive line. Just having all that experience, even though Luke, you haven't been a starter, but you've been around the program so long. How important is that?
I think it's super important. I think being like an old guy and having experience is really important to offensive line play. Unlike a lot of positions, like O-line, like experience factors in there a lot. And it's like getting different looks, twist pickups. And I think that's why like me and Luke work really good together, because between us we have a lot of experience. Same thing with Ricky and Bo and Wags. And then with that experience, if we see something that like was different, we know how to talk about it. So the experience is huge.
I had a question for you. What's your updated weight, basically? And is this the best combo of size, strength, experience you felt like you've had in your career?
Yeah, I'm about 320 right now. Probably the heaviest I've been, but I feel like I'm moving better than I ever have. I feel like great work in the offseason. We have great strength staff that's helped me prepare, to help all the guys on our team prepare. Brady's put on weight. We have a big, strong line and ready to roll.
Can you say a couple things maybe about Devin and Andrew, the young dudes coming up behind you?
Andrew has great feet. I'm very excited to see him coming on. He's made great progressions in his pass pro game. Devin's a great player too. You know, he's got great size, great in the run game, very physical guy. Good players.
I think you barely mentioned Ricky's name a minute ago. You should almost get like a merit badge for being mentioned very little as an offensive lineman. But with Ricky, what makes him the player he is? I mean, he's got it, stepped in right away as a true freshman and started playing, and now embarking on his 4th year as a starter.
Well, I think there's two things that really, well, not just two things, but Ricky, he's incredibly smart on the field, and with our fast-paced offense, he gets plays to us like this. So we're always on the same page because of him, and it's usually right. So there's that. He also has really good feet, which playing next to him is awesome because he puts you in good situations. And then like third, like he's a baller. He plays really hard, and like every day going next to Ricky that like he's going to show up. So
you guys, I mean, the three of you have played, on the interior right by each other for a number of years now. Is there like a lot of nonverbal communication with you guys, or maybe just grunts, or what the other guy's thinking or saying just when you're up there?
It's definitely, the longer we play together, the communication. It's kind of funny. It's like we communicate, but like what we say has gone down. So like Ricky usually will make a call, and we're mainly on the same page, so we don't need to like keep yelling it or anything. We just kind of have more of a feel now.
I had a question about Bo Limmer, about the only guy we haven't talked about. What's he improved on going into this year?
So Bo Limmer is a super strong guy. He's the strongest guy on the team, and he got even stronger in the weight room. He's gained a lot of weight, and he's just playing really good. He's dominating guys in the run game, and he's made a bunch of improvement.
Very strong, very physical. Love having him on the O-line. Smart player too. Quick.
Street kids playing backup center now that Henderson's hurt. But he came here as a walk on and merged that quickly. Just talk about him, what you've seen from him.
Street's made a lot of improvements. Stepping up to that second center role. He's made a lot of improvements that I've seen in the last year, 2 years that he's been here. He's a good player.
Bo, real quick, you mentioned strongest guy on the team. I'm curious what those numbers look like. What's the strongest guy on the team? What's a bench? What's a squat, deadlift kind of numbers?
They're really high. And the thing is, the crazy part is like we don't really know how high, because like usually they're like, all right, Bo, you've gone on high enough. Like we don't need you to go anymore. Like he can. I've never seen Bo fail on a weight. So like you name it, he could probably throw it up there. I mean,
what is the target for an SEC strongest player on the team?
you think he could bench 600 pounds?
I think he could.
Yeah.
I think
Like maybe over. Like they bench. He can bench so much that they're just
guy.
like they shut him down. They're like,
He's a strong guy.
What is the squat number for a guy like that?
like 750.
Big strong man.
Yeah, he's insane. He's awesome.
You guys have seen this program build up from a few years ago where it was to 9 wins. What do you think is the ingredients to get to 10 wins, to really challenge in the West?
So I think one of a key ingredient that we got from last year's experience, like in these situations, and like learning to win. It's always hard to win, but so learning to win is good. And I think now that we got a taste of it last year, it'll only help us this year.
I think just being more consistent as a team without pre-snap penalties and things like experience that we have so much of all leading into this year of guys just being closer than I've ever seen this team be, closer than before, and just experience and knowledge of the game is going to help us a lot this year.
BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports, contests, and events with first-to-market odds and lines. Find reviews and news for every league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, and even golf. BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all your sports information, from live in-game betting, props, and futures. Head to BetOnline today or use your mobile device to join today and make your first sports bet. Use our promo code BELIEVE50 to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. That's BELIEVE, BLEAV 50. That's BELIEVE, BLEAV 50. Bet online, where the game starts.